Hey, this is Todd Toback here, and today I'm going to teach you how to convince a seller to do business with you versus listing with an agent. And it's not how you think. Now, today's question was actually inspired by a listener of the podcast who actually just called and left a message on our 24-hour recorded message. So if you want your question answered, just call 619-494-1691, 619-494-1691, and we might answer your question on the podcast. Also, if you want to download a free copy of the very same script that we use to talk to motivated sellers every single day, the one that's responsible for over 1,400 deals approximately, go to nolimitsrealestatinvesting.com/script. If you ever wondered what to say to a seller or how to say it, go ahead and download it. It's going to put you on the path to doing that first or next deal. Also, one more gift for you. If you want to hook up and meet with me and other wholesalers in the wholesaling community, go ahead and check out wholesalingincgroup.com. And I would love to hook up with you there. Just at Todd Toback me, or just mingle and meet with other wholesalers there to raise your game. All right, so let's go ahead and listen today. We got a question from Danny. Let's play the music.
Hey, Todd, Daniel here. Just wanted to drop a message. Yeah, so my question is how do you overcome when a seller wants a cash deal and is on the verge of thinking about taking, calling the whole agent route? I had some very little success in it, and I have a seller that just doesn't know what he wants to do. And that's my question. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Danny, great question. Man, I love this, right? I think that every wholesaler, if you've ever made a call, like if this is your first day, you probably got this objection. And if you've been in this business any length of time, I get it, right? You're talking to a seller and they're like, hey, I don't know whether I should list with a real estate agent or if, I should do this. Well, I'm going to give you some answers here, and it's not what you think. First of all, first principle of persuasion is you never convince a seller to do anything. Okay, now I will show you how to get more deals and maybe move a seller faster to their best decision, but there is no convincing. The only person who could convince themselves, the only way a person is going to convince is if they convince themselves, okay? And that's at least the right way to do it if you want longevity in this business, if you want to earn big, fat, juicy checks as fast as humanly possible. Listen to what I am telling you. So the first step in convincing a seller to do business with you, or having a seller convince themselves to do business with you, is you need to be able to walk away from this deal at any time. Okay, the seller needs to feel that you are not chasing them. I've used an analogy of my dog Molly a million times on this podcast. Had this great dog. Her name was Molly, a puppy that I had. We used to open the door. She used to run outside. It was extremely stressful. We're chasing after her, because we're worried like she's going to get hit by a car. And we realized the more we chased her, the faster she ran the other way, right? You got to learn how to run the other way. And that's where Molly used to chase us. So we used to run away from her, run into the house, and she used to follow us. So you need to be able to do that. One of the best ways for you to have the confidence to run away is you've got to generate more leads. Okay, leads are the lifeblood of your business. You need to generate them every single day inside your business if you're going to be any kind of success in this business. You can't do random acts of marketing. Every single day, you need to be generating leads. I cannot pound that in enough. I don't care how you do it. You can cold call and spend your own time doing it. You could work a second job and spend money on mailing. You could give plasma and buy leads from novationleads.com, which are good for wholesaling leads or Novation leads. I don't care. But you got to generate leads, because only a portion of people who you speak to are going to be ready to do business today at a price that you want to do it. And so it's a matter of numbers, okay? And you talk to more people. And if you have prospects lined up to talk to you, you're not going to be hanging on to this one prospect that's right in front of you. Like, please do business with me. This is why it's so much better to work with me versus an agent and I'm better and you're going to be, this is going to be so much more convenient. I mean, I'm telling you, the sellers do not respond to that. So they need to feel that you can walk out that door at any minute and it's not going to bother you one bit. And so the only way that it's not going to bother you one bit is if you have a lot of prospects. Okay. By the way, I got a gift for you, by the way. If you want to know, and I mentioned some of the ways that I've talked about, right? I love direct mail. I love buying internet leads. I like cold calling. I joint venture with a cold calling company, and they send us leads every single month. I've done texting. I've done referral marketing. I've done influencer marketing. I've got a little treat for you. If you go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/leads, nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/leads, I'll talk about some of the ways there that I love to market. Okay. I'll also link to some of the podcasts from the show. So I'll go ahead and check that out. But, excuse me, I would have you go out there and check that out. So you got to generate leads every single day. The next thing that you need to deal with is, let's say you've got the leads, you've got the confidence, you've got the swagger, right? To be able to walk away. And I'm telling you, the sellers can feel it. That's probably the most important thing. Is now you need to employ a technique that I talk about in my no limit selling system. And that is the stealth mismatch. Okay. What is the stealth mismatch? So the stealth mismatch is something that you do with a seller. It's a sales technique to get the seller to tell the truth. Okay. It's not, it's something that I use. It's like a truth extractor. It's like a rag or a towel that you wring out and you get that water to come out. Okay, so let's say you're talking to a seller and they say, Todd, I don't know. I might, go with a cash offer and I'm just calling a lot of people around, or I'm just calling a bunch of real estate agents and I'm just seeing, who's going to give me the best offer. Now, I got to tell you, that's like a wholesaler's worst nightmare, right? Because you're like, oh. And so people who are not trained, they're going to all of a sudden go off or you may have done this. Believe me, I've done it. Well, Mr. Seller, it's just so convenient with me. You don't pay any closing costs. You can leave everything behind. It's so easy. And you know what? You're going to net almost as much or maybe even more working with me because you don't have to pay those pesky commissions. Man, that's so pathetic. And don't worry, I used to do that. But imagine there, as you are chasing that seller, they're running the other way and you're like, no, my check, my $25,000 deal is running the other direction. Ah! So what you need to do is you need to switch this story around. All right. Let's turn this car around and start running the other direction, right? You got to get Molly to chase you. Who would have known? My Labrador Retriever from 1996 is still making money to this day. Okay. So, and she's making you money this day. So what I would do immediately is I'm going to give you a series of 3 or 4 questions here, Danny, or anybody else who's listening to this. I'm talking to you. All right. Because I know that this has happened to you if you've made any calls whatsoever. I might say, hey, maybe listing might be a good option for you, right? Why wouldn't you do that? Now, you see what I did there? I said listing is a good option for you. They're not expecting me to say that. And I say, why wouldn't you do that? It's an open-ended question. So now they have to say something. Okay, so now they may say one of 2 things. If they say, you know what, it is a better option. I'm probably going to net more. And I got 3 real estate agents coming over tomorrow. And one of them is my sister-in-law who's going to give me a discount. You may hear that. And by the way, that's the best news that you could hear because now you could move on to your next lead, which now hopefully you're doing. But there's a good chance that they're not telling you something. And this is where the stealth mismatch helps because they say, well, I need to sell in 14 days. I want to leave this stuff behind. My real estate agent wants me to clean this out. And really, I've got a tenant who's not cooperative. And now, the truth comes out. I love it. So you got to use a stealth mismatch because it's going to let you know where you stand. right? It may tell you that you got to move on to your next prospect and you're in the wrong living room. Boom, get the hell out of there. Or now it tells you you got a fish on the hook and you need to spend some time here. So, assuming that you get the answer that you need in the second part, and they've got some motivation, my next question would be, Mr. Seller, well, what do you think the benefit of working with someone like me would be? And then zip it. And now they're going to start selling themselves on you. Well, it said on your postcard you could close in 7 days. You could sell as is. You seem like a nice guy. I saw your reviews on the internet, and I really trust you. You called me back so quickly. And you could buy without getting in again. Whatever that is, right? And now now the seller is reconfirming it. They're saying why they should do business with you. So let's pretend they're still on the fence. They've said all those things. Now I'm going to ask the next question. So I've moved from a stealth mismatch, which now gets the information. And now I'm going to use getting commitments, which is a technique in my no limit selling system. And by the way, if you don't have this thing right now, by the way, this is a course that I've made to train wholesalers on how to talk to motivated sellers. If you don't have it, you should buy it. Okay, it's nolimitsalesystem.com. The price is embarrassing low. And by the way, I do want to let you know, I am actually taking this product off the market. Okay, and so right now the price is embarrassing low. It's actually going to be turned into a coaching program. And so if you want to get it at the price that it is, just go to nolimitsalesystem.com right now after I'm done here. Or if you're totally broke and you're like, Todd, I've got to donate plasma even to drive my car, just listen to my podcast episodes. Okay, there's a ton of free stuff on here. But now we've extracted that information, and now we have to use this information to get the seller to make the decision. And we use that by getting commitments. And this is one of the 5 communication techniques that I talk about. So a lot of times wholesalers have this and the seller is still confused. So what you need to do is funnel all this energy into decision-making power for the seller. So I'll say, next question is, okay, great. What is the next step for you to arrive at your decision? So now you've given them the options. They've stated the benefits and the pros and the cons. And now you have them define what is the next step. And now they're going to have to think, right? They're going to have to say, okay, it's critical thinking. Well, the tenant, he's my nephew. And, if he'll cooperate with my real estate agent, I'll probably list it. Okay, great. And if he doesn't, I'll sell to you. Okay, that's good. Now, most people will stop there, but now you got to dig deeper. Okay, well, great. Have you tried to get his cooperation before? Yeah, he hasn't cooperated. Okay, Mr. Seller, would it be fair? So you see how I'm moving, right? I'm taking a step, boom, and I lock. Another step, boom, and I lock. And I'm pushing the seller into their best decision, okay? And I want you to almost look at it like a one-way water valve. Right, a one-way water valve where the water goes through. It can go one direction, but it can't go backwards. And so now I'm locking this down. So have you given him a deadline? No. Would it be fair to give him a deadline? Yes. How long should that deadline be before you agree to sell it to me? Well, I'm going to give him a 7-day deadline to cooperate, or else I'll sell to you. Okay, great. So when do you think you could have that conversation? Tomorrow. Okay, so Mr. Seller, so now I'm taking this information. What I'm hearing is that you're going to have a conversation with your nephew tomorrow, and you're going to give him a 7-day deadline to cooperate with you on showing the property so that you could list with a real estate agent. Is that right? Yes. And if he doesn't cooperate, you're agreeing to sell to me. And they say, yes. Okay, now I've got them to agree at this point. Now, at this point, you may be like, Todd, whoa, this sounds like a lot of pressure. So what you want to do here is, again, remember, you want to now release that pressure, but without letting the valve go backwards. So I might say, hey, by the way, Mr. Seller, look, if you feel like you're breaking rapport, it's getting awkward, I might say, if you don't want to do business with me, if you feel like your agent is the better option, I want to let you know that is 100% okay to tell me no. No hard feelings. All I ask is that you're just upfront with me. So now you go, you let out all the steam, but the valve is there and they're not going backwards. So You're talking to the seller says, okay, so I'm going to reconfirm. Okay, so now you agree you're going to give him 7 days. So why don't we do this? Today is Friday. Why don't we talk on Saturday morning, which is the day after the deadline? Okay, and then you could let me know of your decision. Is that fair? Great. So I'm going to write this down on my calendar. You agree to talk to your nephew. You're going to give him a deadline. You might talk to your real estate agent, and you and I will talk on Saturday at 10 a.m. And if you still want to do business and you've talked to your agent and he's not cooperating, then you agree to do the deal. Is that okay? And I just want to let you know it's totally okay to say no. Boom. And now you got your answer. Close up the deal. Wrap it up. All right. So I'm going to review. Number one, if you've got an objection from a seller, whether they should list with you, or sell with you, or sell their house to you for a cash offer, or list with a real estate agent, right? The first thing that you should do is realize you're not going to force anything. You're not going to convince anybody. You just have to have them come to realization faster. You do that by, number one, being able to walk away, right? You don't want to chase, so you got to have leads. You got to have leads. You got to market. I don't care how you do it. There are multiple ways to do it. I got some resources for you. Go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/leads, right? If you want to know the hottest ways that I like to market right now. The other part about that is once the seller feels like you can walk away, that you don't care, that you're not desperate, right? You care for them, but you don't care whether they do business with you or not. You've got lots of options. Next, you got to be able to do the stealth mismatch. You got to extract the truth. And so I might say, hey, listen, listing might be a good option for you. Why wouldn't you do that? Let them talk. Zip it. Don't say a word. After they say, okay, well, what would be the benefits of working with me? Now, don't force that. Just if they don't say enough, would that be like, hey, is that all? And one thing I didn't mention before is, hey, listen, I know that you called me off the postcard. What about the postcard prompted you to call me? Something like that. Next, I'm asking these questions. I'll say, okay, well, what is the next step for you to arrive at that decision? I'll let them say that. I'll use that information and I'll get a firm commitment. All right. Don't let this all be like all squirrely, right? I talk a lot about this in my No Limit Sales System. If you want to check that out, go to nolimitsalessystem.com to check that out. Get the commitment, have it be firm. If you feel things getting like too tense a little bit, right? You break in rapport, they're feeling trapped, let out the air, go tss, just saying, hey, listen, by the way, I just want to let you know, you could tell me no at any time. If I'm not a fit, you want to list with a real estate agent, go right ahead. I no hard feelings. I want the best for you. And I'm going to tell you that they may say, you know what, I'm going to list. And that's fine, because now you're not going to chase the seller for 3 months, when now you can call one of the other leads that you're generating, hopefully, right? If you want to make money, you got to generate leads every single day. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? You think you need to generate leads? Absolutely. Last thing is get the commitment, hold them accountable, close, make an appointment. And I'm telling you, do this over and over and over and over and over again, and you will make a crap ton of money. Remember, if you want to download the script, go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/script. And I will talk to you on the next episode.